Ladies and gentlemen, friends of SMR, we are here with another issue of our SMR Speed interview, and I'm very proud to have really a special guest here. Today I introduce to you, or many of you know them of course, you know, the Jindal Stainless company and Abhyuday Jindal, who is the third generation of leadership in this company. The company and the whole group was founded by his grandfather. His father Ratan made the company global, you know, and now Abhyuday, I think one of his main tasks is to steer it through a very competitive global industry and make it also profitable. Jindal Stainless, I just checked it, is the 9th biggest stainless steel producer in the world. And when you count so if you keep the Chinese a little bit separate from non-Chinese, they are number 4 worldwide. And this is quite a position. And it's almost, last year they recorded almost $4 billion in sales and a net profit of over 300 million. So I must say, you know, you can be very proud, Abhyuday, what you have achieved, but I think there's a challenge out there every day, and I have 3 questions prepared for you, and I hope they are relevant also for you and for our audience here. The first question is, how, because India is a separate thing, I always say, people say India is Asia. I'm saying India is not Asia. India is in some regards more Europe than it is Asia, actually. How is the situation in the Indian market at the moment, stainless steel market, and what do you expect for the rest of the year?
Thank you, Marcus. Firstly, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to interact with you. So firstly, to talk about the Indian dynamics, the Indian market situation, like we're seeing all across the globe, there is a down cycle right now. After the last 2 years that we all felt was a very good bullish segment for the stainless steel industry. Now, since last 2 months, we see there is a bit of a downturn. There is destocking happening, and this is across the globe that we see. So nothing unique from Indian standpoint of view from that perspective. But for the coming year, we see very good demand. There are a lot of projects that have been announced in India, a lot of infrastructure projects, a lot of capital expenditure projects by a lot of the big firms have been announced here. So from a demand point of view, in the Indian context, we see a very bullish and healthy cycle. Maybe after another quarter or so, the upcycle should pick up again.
Mm-hmm. So can you give us roughly for 2021 calendar year a level where you think what growth will we have in percent market volume?
From a 21 perspective, I think 5 to 6%. Generally, in India, we see almost 8 to 9% growth year on year for stainless steel. But looking at the current downturn right now, I think 6% should be a good growth rate from 21.
Okay, there could be even over the growth in China then, percentage-wise. Yeah?
Yes.
Because with their COVID and their supply chain interruptions and so on, they are having an issue in the market. Okay. Now, in May, your government has surprised us again. Your government is always good for surprises, but this one, I don't understand the rationale behind it. They introduced an export duty, which included stainless steel. At the same time, there are some import duties on some raw materials. So it looks on the first glance like they want to make your life miserable. What is the rationale behind that? What does the government want to achieve with that?
No, you've absolutely hit the nail on the head, Marcus. It is something that was kind of a shock to us as well. And the main rationale is that over the last 2 years, again, most of the input industries, who are the consumers of steel and stainless steel, they have been going and representing to the government in a very intensive manner that our input costs are going up, and there is no control on that. And they're not able to pass it on to their customers. So that was the main rationale behind that. By putting this export duty, they would bring the prices down in India. But on the other fact, we see that it has happened all across the board, even in copper, aluminium, naturally, without any export duty coming into play, the prices have started coming down. The commodity cycle is on the downward trend. So this export duty, in my opinion, was not required, especially in stainless steel. Steel definitely being, India being a net exporter of steel, and of stainless steel, this was not required to be done in our industry. So the rationale mainly was to reduce the input cost for the consumers of steel and stainless steel. And we expect this to not be there for a very long period of time, because already the desired impact has come. The prices have come down by almost, I would say, 10 to 15% already. So we expect maybe another 3 to 6 months this duty to be there, and it should be rolled back. But as a company which is definitely dependent on export, and we're a big exporter to Europe and US market, we don't want to lose our customer base. Because of over so many years, we have built our customer base. We have been supplying high quality, high product material to them, and we definitely don't want to lose out on that. So even at practically negative or break-even margins, we would still like to continue supplying into our customers in Europe and US.
So that means that if necessary, and we're talking 15%, you would, even for key customers, you would absorb that in your margin.
We would absorb that cost on us.
But hopefully it's not staying there forever or for the long term. Because
yes, I mean, there is no clear rationale behind it other than bringing the input cost down, which invariably has already happened. So I think logic should prevail, and they should roll back this export duty quite soon.
Okay. Now, you are in a very big market, almost 4 million tons. You are the clear market leader on flat products. Yeah? On the other side, India always has been a big importer also. Now we have seen that Europe has been replaced mostly as from China and recently Indonesia, which is China too, So how is Jindal competitive with these imports? And how can you compete?
No, good. That's a very good question. So now the way the Chinese and the Indonesians are they're catering to the lowest end segment of the market. So mainly into the utensils, pots and pans, and the pipe and tube segment. Whereas Jindal, over the course of our long tenure, we have gone into the higher end segments. So we are servicing more of your auto market, railways, the process industries, nuclear, chemicals, getting big into pharma segment, entered into defense, aerospace. So that is the way we're trying to distinguish ourselves from the Chinese, the Indonesians. Another play, because, Marcus, and it's very clear to them that at a cost perspective, it will become very difficult for any company, not only Indian companies, but any company to compete against Chinese and Indonesian firms. So another area where we're trying to build up our expertise is through services. We have service centers all across India. We have warehouses all across India. We're providing just-in-time services, just-in-time sales, managing the inventory. Everything is being automated now. So that is adding a lot of value to our customers. The Jindal brand name itself is very strong, so we're trying to leverage that further. We've gotten into some co-branding opportunities as well, whereas our customers can use our logo to push it into the market that we are buying the best quality stainless steel available, which is Jindal Stainless. So through these other measures, other than regularly liaising with the government, on subsidized dumping that is happening from these countries, we're able to compete with this. So the market is big enough, the market is definitely growing, and by catering to the higher end segment, that is where Jindal Stainless always wants to play.
But we all know that the utensils, for example, are a very big segment in India. It has a bigger share than anywhere else in the world. So, and at the same time, Jindal is increasing its capacity, I think, in the Orissa plant particularly. So that means you will need some of these high
We
volume
will.
segments.
We will.
Because
We will.
can
We
you
will.
say a little bit, where are you with the capacity expansion project, and when do you think you will have
Yes.
that additional 1,000,000 tons or so?
So yes, exactly like you said, we're expanding by 1,000,000 tons in our Jajpur facility in East India, and that should be ready by January of 2023. So
Oh.
another 1,000,000 tons should start getting commissioned from January onwards. So it will take about the whole year till we reach 1,000,000 rated capacity. But yes, absolutely, we would have to cater a small portion of that into the utensils and the pipe and tube sector.
Okay. One last question, and this is about this cold rolling capacity. The Tsingshan started a few years ago, 600,000 ton plant in Ahmedabad. Then it was shut down, and it's sitting there doing nothing, as I understand it. Is that not something where you should look into, probably buy it or restart it or make sure it's leaving the country? Or what is your position to that? Chromeni, I think was the name, or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, Chromeni steel. So as per our information, it has been closed for the last 2.5 years, and they don't have the right amount of clearances as well. They need certain environmental clearances which they did not have. So our belief is that it's going to take a substantial amount of time before it restarts. And if it does, then as you suggested, Marcus, we would definitely be in talks with the current owners of it, if we can get into it, if we can take over. But as of now, it's no threat for us because it's been closed for last 2.5 years. And if they do want to start, it will take another year and a half before they obtain all the clearances, all the permissions before it can start. So it's not really a major threat or a major concern for us at the moment. But as soon as there is some discussion on it restarting, we will get into serious talks with the company.
I think it would be, it would be a nice addition to you to add cold roll capacity, because on the melt shop side, you are melt long and cold roll short, and so. But anyhow, Abhyuday, thank you very much. Sorry, it was more than 3 questions, but anytime when we meet, usually we have a lot more time, and there's so much to discuss, and I really look forward also again. I haven't been in India in 2 years now, it's unbelievable.
Yes, we need to have you here again. It's been very long.
I'm on the first flight, if this all works without any quarantine and all that, and I guess that also the association is planning some conferences again in India.
Correct.
Yeah, and I already love to come back to New Delhi and also other places, of course.
Yes, I would love to host you again, and definitely we need to have a much longer chat next time.
Absolutely.
Lots to be discussed. It's
Right.
a very exciting time, interesting time, lots to be discussed.
This industry is never boring, Abhyuday. So thanks for your time, and I wish you good luck. You have loads to do on the investment side, on the sales side, and whatever.
Yes.
So good luck for you and your company.
Thank you, and thank you for your support always. Thanks a lot, Marcus.
Thank you. Stay well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.